Hello, today's tutorial is on staff pose Dandasana. This pose stretches the back, the hamstrings, the back of the knees, and the calves. So this pose requires also hip strength and the strength of the back in order to keep the spine straight and upright instead of rounding the back. So now let me start with a demonstration. I'm already in position. So the alignment of Dandasana is mountain pose, Tadasana. So the feet are hip-width apart and keep the feet straight, not externally rotated and not internally rotated. And from here, you just have to keep your torso straight, not rounding. Keep your torso straight and your hands by your side and look towards the front. And this is Dandasana. And if you wish to intensify the position, you're free to squeeze your legs totally so that your knees touch the ground and then your heels peel off the ground. And if you wish to intensify a calf stretch, the stretch on the calves, you're free to flex the calves. Okay? So this is the position. Keep your shoulders down. So one greatest mistake in this posture is when students do something like that. And that is understandable because this actually requires considerable flexibility in the hamstrings in order to keep your torso straight and upright. So, and the first place that goes is usually the position of the spine, where students are doing this, okay, and okay, with the legs bent, that's totally fine, but most importantly, if the position of the spine, okay? So one thing we can do to correct this is, in order to bring your spine straight, try to bending your knees as much as you need in order to keep your spine straight, okay? So if you're doing this, you're unable to straighten, try to bend until the point where you can keep your spine straight and upright, okay? Right this. And then eventually keeping the integrity of the shape, try to see if you can slowly straighten the legs again until where you can be and then just stop there, okay? Another modification possible is you can grab a blanket, which could be even lower than a low block, and sit on it. So up to you what you prefer to use at home. So this actually puts your feet at a level that is lower than your hips, and so less hip flexion is needed. So hopefully this can help you straighten the legs even easier, okay? And actually, if this is not enough, you're always welcome to use a regular block, okay, to lift your hips even further. Just sit on the block, and that should elevate your hips. And as usual, keep your feet hip-width apart and see if that helps you, okay? Another thing, if you're down, try not to put excessive strain on, for example, the wrist. As this posture, you should use, for the most part, the strength of your core and your spine to keep your torso upright instead of using the wrist to push yourself up, okay? And of course, that comes with preparatory work and strengthening exercise that we do as well in our courses. So try this modification and see if that helps you. So one thing I want to talk about is the alignment. As I mentioned earlier, you do this with Tadasana alignment with feet hip-width apart. But as you know right now, we move in all planes of motion. We are humans. So if you need a greater challenge, feel free to unite the legs, okay? And it's the same eventually for other poses we will cover where you do a forward bend. It is harder for you if you unite the legs, but no one says that you can't do it in this way, okay? If you need that challenge, feel free to do so. Straighten the legs totally and flex the feet. And if this is not that comfortable for you, you're also free to see and experiment with the width, with the distance of your feet, okay, in this position. So this is the end of this tutorial, and I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again. Namaste.